Hello? Hey, I'm the host of this show, and I want to make sure you understand where you are. This is one of the rawest shows on the planet. That throwback, after dark, adults only shit. Front porch, card table, slick mouth shit. Hood shit. You gonna hear so many hooks, and variations of that your head gonna spin. So if you don't like that type of shit, don't get comfortable. And no love lost. The streets ain't for everybody. That's why they made sidewalks. Viewer discretion is absolutely advised. Welcome to the Nigga News Network.
You are listening to
Milagro, baby. Milagro Grams. International Nino. Mia. Nigga Millie.
My sister Milagro Grams is in the building.
I love my radio.
Millie from Mob Radio.
Mia.
Because
me, you, and Milagro.
How you know about Milagros?
That made me get the fuck up, okay? I'm sitting up here getting ready for this show. And I said, child, let me go ahead and put J. Cole on the lineup. Then I saw Jay-Z on the cover of GQ. I said, get your nappy head ass out the way. I said, what? I said, child, what the fuck going on over here? Hold on. I said, child, ooh, let me see what's being talked about over here. Because, Jay-Z don't do no whole bunch of interviews now. So let me tell you what I felt. I say, damn, the brand in trouble. That's the first thing I thought. Okay. They said, not you move the nappy head for a nappy wig. Oh, my God. I said, child, what is he doing on GQ? Jay-Z been too good to talk to people. So what's up with this? Call it what you want. I'm going to try my best to have a conversation from two viewpoints. The viewpoint of the people that think he's being disingenuous and this is a PR spin because press has been so bad and he's desperate. And the people who feel like they fans of his and that this is a good thing. I'm going to try to be balanced, but I'm fucking with the first one. Okay? I'm fucking with the first one. So, if you hear me double talking, that's why. So, in one breath, I feel like y'all must be in trouble and you must be feeling it because you don't talk to nobody. And you done did a whole spread. Let's dig into that a little bit deeper. GQ magazine said, presenting GQ's April issue, Sean Carter on 30 years of Jay-Z. He's kept his thoughts to himself for the better part of a decade. I want you to sit with that. For the better part of a decade, this nigga ain't even talk to nobody. So the question becomes, why now? Why now? After almost 10 years, you ain't told us how you feel about shit. Why am I looking at you now? But here, in a rare and exclusive interview, the legendary rapper put everything on the table. Music, family, money, and the 30 years since Reasonable Doubt. I want you to look in the bottom left corner. See my mouse circling this? I know this is kind of small. Can you see this? That says a special issue. It reminds me of that special with Gail. I'm not going down that rabbit hole, but can't just anybody get up and get in certain rooms. So it takes somebody with big influence to make a call and say, this is what I want, let's make it happen. This is a special issue of GQ for a man that hasn't talked in almost 10 years. And you write on it, look at this cover. Jay-Z giving himself his own flowers. But I'm reading into everything. Okay? He said, what did I take from this? Because a picture is worth 1,000 words. Fuck y'all. Bitch, I'll celebrate myself, bitch. I am that nigga. What? Jigga what? Jigga who? Oh, what the hell is going on? They said, Millie, back up. Did you notice that this rollout is taking place around the time Nicki said her album was coming out? Nicki said that the album was coming out March 27th, 2026. It's March 24th. And here goes Jay-Z hinting at a new album with this special issue. Now, I want to highlight something for you. And in highlighting this for you, I hope that it opens up, our minds when it comes to some of the other things that were going on. So take a look at this.
It's been a long time since you sat down for one of these.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
What have you been up to?
Wow, everything, a lot.
I'm going to read this out loud. In January, Jay-Z sat down with GQ's Fraser Tharp in Los Angeles for 2 candid conversations. His first in-depth interview in years. I want you to pay attention to in January. Do you mean January? Like before March? Like before Michael Eric Dyson came and told everybody what you had said about Drake and Kendrick's battle? Is that why it was imperative that he clean that up? Because by the time this came out, that was going to contradict what you claimed, that you didn't give a fuck. I'm fucking Hove, nigga. Is that why? Huh? The people have questions. Because it's mighty convenient that this was filmed months ago. It's just coming out now. But that Michael Eric Dyson couldn't even go get in the car and go to the film before he came online and said, I would like to apologize. He wasn't disagreeing. He didn't feel this way. It was that's because, in my opinion, allegedly, in my opinion, this is for entertainment purposes only. I'm retarded. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I think that shit contradicted what he said in this article. And he said, we got to clean that shit up. I can't be looking like no liar out here. Okay. That's what I'm taking from, because what the fuck is going on? They said, and Vlad, what about Vlad? Child, let's get into this. Another reason why I think that Jay-Z came out with this interview is because everything is too loud and he knows it. And that speaks volumes. There is no way in hell that Jay-Z can get on stage and rap and do anything without addressing these very serious claims. It wasn't going to happen. Now he gets to say, I already talked about that, man. Go on the fuck on. Get out my face. Now he gets to put that wall up and then say, I already got into that. So, yeah, damage control is how I'm looking at it. So, to me, it was a means to an end. That something is coming. And so I gotta talk to these people before it come out, because that shit not gonna translate well. Okay, get into this excerpt about the music.
It has to be said from me.
You can't be like
I don't want to be so rigid with it though. I'm gonna keep that open. I'm gonna take that back. But at that moment, I was like, yeah, I want to do something, but in order for me to move forward, I gotta get this shit out. I gotta get it out.
Jay-Z was asked, why weren't you on the Clips album? And he said, I almost was on the Clips album, but I feel like I gotta get this shit off first. That in order to move forward, I gotta get this out. I think it's ego, and I think it's pride. I think you need to feel like y'all got me fucked up, and I want you to know I feel like you got me fucked up. So I want to pop my shit. I don't know if you should do that. I don't think so. Now, let me try to speak from the vantage point of someone who would be more optimistic about all of this. If I was a Jay-Z fan that really felt like, child, all this is bullshit, he ain't did half of what y'all said, then I would feel like he had to do this because the whispers were too loud and it needed to be addressed. But I would feel like this is a good thing for visibility. And I would be excited to hear from an artist that I appreciated. And I would look at it like, well, he addressed it because he had to, everybody talking about it. Are y'all happy now? And so now let's move on. That's the most I can give to that. I'm trying my best. Okay. That's all I can do. That's all I can do. Now, before we get into some darker things, I want to go ahead and highlight where Blue Ivy was mentioned. There were some people that questioned why the other children were not mentioned. And I'm going to play devil's advocate and offer this. Maybe because Blue wants the spotlight and she has addressed wanting the spotlight, they feel comfortable platforming her and continuing to speak on her. As it pertains to the babies, the twins, out of sight, out of mind. And if I don't give you anything, then you won't feel like you're entitled to them. Nobody's owed anything, but I think it would make more sense to ask about the young lady that they platform. So maybe that's why he spoke about Blue and not the others. I don't know. Okay. They said Lil Miss Protector want the spotlight. Well, go find a projector. Now, Jay-Z talks about Blue in the GQ magazine. He said, quote, Blue is a crazy pianist, but she won't let us get her a teacher. She doesn't want it to be a job, but she has perfect pitch. If she hears a song, she'll be like, play it again, and then she'll teach herself. That's just talent. She doesn't work at that. She worked at this, and it makes me proud that she fought for something that she really wanted to do. I don't think we're going to be able to get her off that stage now. I looked into the audience, and the first thing I saw was a comment that said, we don't care. My God. They said y'all here over there acting like Mama Tina. They said y'all not the next meal ticket. I don't have anything negative to say about this beautiful baby girl. I'm not finna be mad at this Nepo baby reaping the benefits of being a Nepo baby. If her parents want to say some shit that's gonna sound good later, I ain't mad at it. I'm going to the moon about my motherfucking kids. My kids, the best motherfucking kids that was ever on earth. They could do every motherfucking thing. All that, bitch. You goddamn right. Fuck you. Okay. I don't feel no. My kids can't play piano. Ask me if they could play piano. Mozart. They could do all of that. Okay. They said Blue piano trainer someone looking crazy than a bitch. Like, huh? Let me get this baby girl off the screen. This mob shit. Bye, girl. Going up with them kids, girl. This is grown people business. Okay. All right. I ain't mad at it. I'm pumping my kids up. Okay. And I might tell a lie. They can do anything through Christ. Shit. There go a truth for your ass. They said, bye, Blue Cantrell Ivy. Ah! Huh? Wait. Somebody said Blue Cantrell Ivy White. Ooh, that's dirty. That's dirty. It's a dirty game, bitch. It's a dirty game. Let's go ahead and get into this GQ article. We're in hour 5. Go get your grandma debit card and subscribe on Patreon and Twitch. Somebody said, Miss Carrie, baby. Okay. So, Jay-Z spoke to GQ and opened up about being heartbroken. He said when that lawsuit came down, he had uncontrollable anger. Look at this nigga here. Do you see that face behind half of that mask? Bitch, I'm petrified. Okay. Baby, Jay-Z want to know who the fuck y'all think y'all fucking with. Do you see him? That nigga around there modeling. Hello? Somebody said dark-sided. Illuminati. Okay, why are you covering your eye? And if ain't nothing to it, why all y'all do it? Somebody please help me. Please. So what did Jay-Z tell GQ about the damn lawsuit? He said, it was hard. Really hard. I was heartbroken. I'm glad we got right so that we could just get that out the way. I was really heartbroken by everything that occurred. We're in a space now where it's almost like consequence is not thought about enough because everything is so instant. You know what I'm saying? That whole lawsuit thing, that shit took a lot out of me. I was angry. I haven't been that angry in a long time. Uncontrollable anger. You don't put that on someone. That's the thing, you better be super sure. It used to be like that. You had to be super sure before you put those kinds of things on a person, especially a person like me. Even when we're doing the worst things, we had those kinds of rules. There was a line. No women, no kids. You hear those sayings, but those are the things that I took from the street. We lived and died by that. So it's strict for me. Like it meant a lot to me. I took that really hard. I knew that we were going to walk through that because first of all, it's not true. And the truth at the end of the day still reigns supreme. The mob reigns supreme. And I like how you jacked that shit. Hello? Okay. I mean, what the hell? So these people ain't gonna let us have nothing? Huh? I just don't feel like people... The reason why the mob said reign supreme is because no one was saying that. We go and we say and do things other people are not saying and doing. So I know for a fact that that was not a part of y'all verbiage. And lately, I've seen more people talking about reigning supreme. Was it Joe Budden that said? I don't know. Y'all been running with that reign supreme shit. We see you. We see you. Yeah. I mean, fuck. People talking about they going outside. Child, they said, child, they over there taunting you. Ugh. Child. All right. We're going to address a lot. But because I think it all comes to the same point, I'm going to get into some other things that he said, okay? Now, I want to make sure that we get that quote because Variety ran something. Hold on. Remind me that a former employee that worked under Desiree is online talking shit so I can show you. Okay. Okay. And give me 1 second because I'm looking for something. Let me go to Variety. Here it goes. Get into this. Jay-Z says, I would die if he settled last year's sexual assault lawsuit. I can't take a settlement. It ain't in my DNA. That he would have died if he would have had to go through that whole situation and end up with a settlement. That is what he said. So I'm going to read this quote one more time because for some reason, this law, I would die, it's not everywhere. So let me read this just to be thorough. It was hard, really hard. I was heartbroken. Like I was really heartbroken by everything that occurred. We're in a space now where it's almost like consequence is not thought about enough because everything is so instant. You know what I'm saying? That whole lawsuit thing, that shit took a lot out of me. I was angry. I haven't been that angry in a long time. Uncontrollable anger. You don't put that on someone. That's the thing that you better be super sure. It's like to be, it used to be like that. You had to be super sure before you put those kinds of things on a person, especially a person like me. So even when we were doing the worst things, we had those kinds of rules. There was no line. There was a line. No women, no kids. And you hear those sayings, but those are the things that I took from the street. We lived and died by that. So it's strict for me. And it meant a lot to me. So they quoted him as saying that Jay-Z said, I would die if I settled that case. I can't take a settlement. It ain't in my DNA. That's what he said. Somebody in the audience said, so he threatened Tony and his family, so Tony turned state evidence. Now, there are some people that have highlighted this one sentence from this excerpt, and they want to know what he means. Jay-Z, the people want to know, when you say especially a person like me, are you supposed to be exempt from being questioned? If we have anything that we want to ask because we feel like there may be a pattern, or if you're outright being accused of something, we have to be super. Why do we need to be super sure? I didn't say you did anything to me. So you don't want us conversing about it. You don't even want it coming up, especially for a person like you. Everybody else can deal with that shit, but especially for me. Nah, hell no, you better be sure. Well, you're not God, sir. I mean, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? That's a family man. Okay? Somebody in the audience said informants supposed to be protected. That's what. Oh God. Okay. Let's move on. We got a couple of different things to read. So the Mufasa premiere. What did he say about that? He said, well, here goes the question. Jay-Z discusses whether he considers staying home for the Mufasa The Lion King premiere, given that the lawsuit involving him became public on that very same day. He said, of course, that's a question because this is her moment. But our family, we are a tight unit. Blue has this jersey with Jay-Z on the back. She put it on one day, and she went to school with the J and points to the back. And I was just in the corner, like tears coming down. Seriously, to have that is priceless. People can say that they'll always be there for you, but it's very rare that you're going to have to exercise it. And in the darkest moment for me, I got to see those sorts of things. So Blue Ivy put on a J jersey and you were standing in the corner crying. What was Beyonce doing? Child, please. Get the fuck out of here. Does anybody believe? We just gonna let that be what that is, okay? Cause what? Anyway, now let's get into this. Jay-Z said, people have called Jay-Z a capitalist, right? Jay-Z's response to being called a capitalist was, I didn't get here by taking advantage of people. Do you remember that tweet that I read earlier? That sarcastic tweet? Well, of course you didn't take advantage of anybody. You just rode Beyonce's coattails and rode Foxy Brown's coattails and was over here with Dame till you wasn't with Dame and you got the deal and you went over here with Leora Cohen. You remember that tweet? Okay. Do you remember they said you was a former drug dealer? How the hell you ain't never took advantage of nobody? Okay. Did you take advantage of the situation when you allegedly, in my opinion, per Jermaine Dupri, told him don't take that NFL deal, then you went and did it? Chump.
To talk a little bit about this idea of like you said earlier, like the things that you do for the culture, the ways that you put on, the ways that you try to protect and move forward, but kind of the pushback that you get sometimes about.
Why Jay-Z looking at him like he better say everything he told him to?
People throw capitalists at you in a derogatory sense.
Yeah, I think in that verse specifically, the only thing I heard coming up was the American dream until we started being successful. And it was like, wait a minute, you're selling out because you're making money. That was the first thing that was put on musicians. People had this allure for the struggling artist. That's a mind game. What we would call back in the day for tricknology. It was like, no, I'm not going for that.
Who used to call that tricknology back in the day? Is this nigga over here talking about the big head scientists and Yakub and them? Tricknology? What the hell you around here talking about? Child, what?
Like, no, I make art first. And then I make sure that I'm compensated for my art. I didn't take advantage. I didn't get here by taking advantage of people. I didn't take it. No one. That's not my reputation. That's not what I do. I didn't get here by taking advantage of people or taking advantage of, the loopholes in the system or some wrinkle in a capitalist structure. That structure exists, and I just see the world for what it is, not for what I want it to be. I'm a realist, not an ideal. It's not idealistic. People speak about the world how they want to see it. You're never going to win like that.
To talk.
Sometimes people say a lot of words and it sounds good, but when you actually get into it, they didn't really say shit. That's how I kind of felt about that. I ain't gonna lie. And I want to get into this from a social media user. I want to incorporate the voices of the public. This person, Raheem Palmer, said, look, this is when I step in. I'm not one of those I hate capitalists or rich people type of guys, because I'm a hustler too. Make your money and I will too. But your company, Roc Nation, literally couldn't survive without unpaid interns who did the exact same work as paid employees. Many of the unpaid interns were from urban communities, and it was tough on them to work for free, and yet they got nothing but the ability to put Roc Nation on their resume. Many didn't even get full-time jobs at Roc Nation or the music industry after their internships, because we all know nepotism and being connected matters more than anything in the music industry. The music industry as a whole takes advantage of people, and people within the music industry use their talent, clout, and the fact that everyone else wants to work in entertainment to not pay people their worth. How do y'all feel about that? I want to go to now these different claims against the 40/40 Club, because there have been a lot of different things said about people not getting paid and bad business down there. You can go pull it up if you want to. This person, and this is in response to this right here. This person, I'm going to keep on reading and then we're going to continue. Raheem Palmer said, I worked at Roc Nation. People talk about this company like they're the Illuminati and they're in control of the world. He said this is a ghetto-ass company that barely wanted to pay photographers to take pictures at the 40/40 Club so we could have pictures for social media. It's company that is carried by the fact that Jay-Z is arguably the GOAT, and people are so thirsty to be in entertainment that they're willing to get paid peanuts to be treated like crap to be in the fucking industry. My first day on the job, my boss showed up 2.5 hours late, handed me a laptop with food all over it, gave me some handy wipes and said, clean the shit off. My second day of the job, I had a meeting with Power 105 because they wanted the 40/40 Club to buy radio ads. My boss disappeared, and I'm in the meeting with Power 105 with no instructions or authority to do anything. There's countless other goofy things that happen there every day. Okay? So this person said, the reason why I can speak to these unpaid interns is because I worked there. I saw it firsthand. He said, this ain't nothing but a what? Sean, come here, cousin-in-law. This ain't nothing but a ghetto-ass company. What? What the fuck? Okay. And then, look at Kyle Shy. Whoever the fuck that is, Kyle Shy, let's call him KK. He said, facts. I worked under Desiree at the 40/40 in Vegas. And let's just say there's a reason it only lasted like 6 months, LOL. Raheem and him bonding. Raheem say, the turnover at Roc Nation is crazy too. The day I got there, the entire sports team quit. Look at they athletes. There's a reason they don't keep top tier athletes that long at all. Ooh. Let me open up all these replies, bitch. Bro, Desiree spent like a week in Vegas after open and then would run the spot from New York. She would watch the cameras and call in and fire people on the spot from New York. Why is she doing that? Tell her go home. While we were already understaffed, it was crazy. Oh, y'all giving tea. So Desiree was remote watching y'all ass and stuff? Y'all better take some motherfucking screenshots. I don't think these pages gonna be here long. Hold on, child. Fuck Mark. Let's just bookmark everything. Hello. Okay. We're going to put that in a file. So, Raheem said finally an hour ago, I'm cracking up. I tell people anything can happen up there. Anything? Okay. Okay. Well, let's get back to the article. Oh. Okay. Ethical billionaires. What do you think about ethical billionaires? Do they even exist? Before you get into that, what do you think about this fucking picture Jay-Z took? I want everybody fired. Can I remote fire this staff like Desiree allegedly did? So, what they say, she say? What they doing? Go home. So, go home. Who on God's green earth sat up here and told Jay-Z to do this and then took the picture and let that camera flash? This is the most psychotic, unhinged shit I probably will see all year. I'm thinking about making it my Abby. What the fuck is this? Somebody said, are those handcuffs? No. But isn't it so crazy? This stage that's been set? Jay-Z looked like he in a fucking electric chair. Are they? Oh my God. Okay. Because let me tell you about these people. Let me tell you why I grabbed my face and said, oh my God. Because I never noticed that they looked like handcuffs. But when you said that and I looked, I say, them do look like handcuffs. And now that I think about it, he looked like he in a damn electric chair. And you know what I thought about? I thought about all the different people who are depicted a particular way who end up like that. Hollywood is very fucking weird. Okay, what is going on here? Let's get into the write-up. So, Jay-Z on the tension regarding the public perception that all billionaires are bad. Somebody in the audience said, child, an ethical billionaire sounds like a holy sinner. What the fuck is that? He said, I gotta give you the honest answer. This Jay-Z talking. There's no tension. I don't give a fuck what you say. You can believe what you want to believe. And people behave the way they want to behave. It's not a dollar amount. It's almost like a cop-out. You get to demonize this group of folks without fixing the actual system that exists, that's in play. Money may enhance it or it may, cause you to act in a way. But you was going to act like that anyway. So, is there, or are all billionaires bad? I don't give a fuck what you say. Who cares? Okay. What do y'all say to that? Because, see, we're going to have to open up these phone lines about this nonsense. Let's read some more. Jay-Z said, your morality defines who you are. Your morality is not defined by a dollar amount. He said at another point, and if so, what is the dollar amount? When does it start? If it's a cutoff, like all millionaires are bad, at $999,000, am I good? It can't be that way. It don't make no sense. I got successful the hard way. In spite of the way the system is set up, everything was against me. My talent pushed against all the headwinds, and I got successful that way. And with that success, I've done things with my reach that I wanted to do that was helpful for a lot of people. And I think that's most important. The things you believe in, the things you align with, because a person with more money can do more good. It's a choice. Again, we're living in the real world, so you can be realistic or idealistic. This is a system we have. And with the system that we have, what are you going to do? So he says, is it a cutoff At $999,000, am I good because I haven't hit $1 million? I felt like their response was facetious because Jay-Z is very intelligent. So when you start playing dents, that's when I know you playing, okay? So there's not going to be a specific dollar amount, but we're talking about people like you. We're talking about people that are part of the 1%. And we're talking about what appears to be the morality of people like you and what it takes to get into that position. Once again, back to, is there a such thing as an ethical billionaire? And many would say no, that they cannot coexist. And a lot of people are confused about the good person that you were supposed to be while you were broke. Because people got hurt. Doesn't drug use affect the community? Wasn't he slanging? Didn't you lose like 90 bricks or something? They said all he does is hide behind Desiree and reap the benefits. She don't give a fuck about the black community. It's a way to protect his conscience. That's what someone in the audience said. They said he had zero morals and $0. They said he thinks he's intelligent. He'll be the one to take the fall for everything. And see, whew. Okay, talk about it. Did y'all watch Beauty in Black? Did y'all see that Roy had put all that shit in Mallory's name and she didn't even fucking know it? Y'all better check. Did y'all remember all them shell companies? Okay. All them shell companies was in Mallory's name. Mallory said, but I ain't did that. I don't know nothing about that. Is it looking like state's evidence? Because, girl, your name on it. Huh? Okay. We just asking questions. Now, this is where you might just have to fall on the floor. Because it got real weird at this point. Are y'all still with me? Y'all still awake and enjoying the show? I need to know if your ass is paying attention. Because I got to tell you something. Okay? I got to fucking tell you something. Now, what do I need to tell you? I need to tell you that Jay-Z spoke on this beef. And he trying to play in my man's face. And this household won't have it. Okay? This household will not have it. We will not be swayed. And child, what the fuck are you talking about? Let's get into it. I'm going to play some audio clips. And I'm going to read some quotes. Because hopefully YouTube does not copyright these interview clips. But I don't know. So just in case they do, I want to make sure that the viewers still got the point of what was said. So Jay-Z responds to claims that he chose Kendrick Lamar for the Super Bowl as a move to undermine Drake. I need you to listen to his fucking answer. Listen to this.
Personal thing that you chose Kendrick for the Super Bowl. It's like, oh man, he's choosing the side and he's putting, and he's not.
Like I don't have, what do I have to do with that? I chose the guy that was having a monster year. I think it was the right choice.
Word.
It wasn't in some sort of alliance to a battle. I don't.
Yeah.
What I care about them two guys battling, like, what's that got to do with me?
Word.
Have at it. Have fun. It's almost like, not just me, by the way. They drag everybody in it. Like, everyone's part of this conspiracy to undermine Drake, I guess. But like, what the fuck? Like, what? I'm fucking Jay-Z. or due respect to him, I'm fucking old. Dude, respectfully.
Word.
Like, for what? To what end?
Yeah.
It couldn't be that these guys just don't like each other.
Yeah.
And I think they haven't liked each other for a long time.
Before you had anything to do with it.
For a while.
Yeah.
I think this has been brewing, just like me and Nas was brewing.
Yeah.
It didn't happen at the Summer Jam. that happened. The Lexan TV sets, the minimum, whatever. It was a whole bunch of stuff leading up to that point.
Myth Bleak, what is the Myth Bleak slugs in your hat, right?
It was slugs in your hat. It was a bunch of like little things that led up to that point. And then when it happened, I actually regret that because I really like Nas. He's a really nice guy.
But also to your point, like I remember I was like 10 or 11 when that happened. I was
Got
like,
pick a side.
Well, I was on your side.
Yeah, I can clearly.
But my position was I can't go out and buy Stillmatic or ask my parents to buy Stillmatic.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna borrow it and burn it because I can't deny one mic. You know.
Like I want to hear it.
Yeah.
But I ain't supporting them.
Or
yeah.
I don't have a problem with the person interviewing admiring the person they're talking to, because I've had the pleasure of interviewing some people I've admired. But I want journalists, not fans. And I need you to be more of a journalist than a fan when it's time to go to work. Save all that other shit for when y'all get done. Because I think that this also speaks to part of the game. And the way that these people, they're not sitting down with people equipped to really question them about certain things and get the responses that we really need. You fucking with somebody who y'all ain't gonna push, that's a kid to you. Why is Jay-Z sitting up here with this little fucking boy? Who the fuck is child? Listen, much due respect to you, and I know that's gonna be a big moment for your career, and that's great for you. But I would have rather had someone else up there questioning him. Absolutely. And then this nigga said I was 11 when Ether and shit was out. Boy, get the fuck out my face. They said Millie, that man interviewing him 38. Ain't Jay-Z like 60? But if he 38, child, he look good than a bitch. He look like a little baby. Okay. They say, child, he a little boy to Jay-Z sitting up there. Now, let's get into Jay-Z and what Jay-Z said. We'll talk more about the Kendrick Drake angle, but I want to highlight the fact that Jay-Z sat in this man's face and said, I'm fucking Jay-Z. Nigga, I'm God. What does Hove mean to you? I was born Christian Baptist, and I was trying to see, I typed in Hove, but let me type in Hove God. Okay. Jehovah Jireh. Okay. Bitch, Hove is short for Jehovah. So when Jay-Z sits in front of someone and he says, I'm Jay-Z, nigga, I'm Hove. He literally just sat there and looked another person in the face and said, I'm God. I just can't fuck with that. Okay? Nigga, and I don't like how people try to play. Like, there are some people who will try to gaslight you in a bit. Well, that's one of his nicknames. That's one of his nicknames. And, well, why did you make that your nickname? Because that was the fucking highest. That is blasphemous to me. And I don't fuck with, and out of all the nicknames you have, you kept that one? Let me see. Let me see this bullshit. Jay-Z has had various nicknames over the years. What's the story behind Hove? So, for decades, Jay-Z has been called Hove, but where did this come from? It's short for Jehovah, which is a play on the name Jehovah, another name for God. In the early 2000s, he said that he could write full songs in 5 to 7 minutes. Other people started to recognize this talent in him and called it a gift. He doesn't say whether there was one particular person who started it, but people began calling him Jehovah. Jay-Z made it clear that he didn't want to offend anyone by calling himself a name with a biblical connection. Quote, I didn't want them to think that I was saying I'm God or anything like that. I know better than that. But he still wanted to recognize the gift. And so he started calling himself Young Hova. Let me tell you something about wordsmiths and Satan and the way that they'll sit and play in your face. I know better than that. But you'll still sit up here and you'll do it. You know better, but you're not doing better. It just is what it is. And that's that. Like, you don't get to still use it knowing what it's attached to in turn, but I ain't gonna do that. You know that's not what it is, right? We all know that's what it is, but that's not what it is, right? So you can call me that, right? Okay, now blaspheme and go against God. Play with God if you want to. Go ahead. Call him that. Go ahead. So I don't like that name. And I don't like anybody sitting up talking about child. I'm God. Nigga, I'm Hove, nigga. Somebody said I just explained it. What the hell you just explained? Let me scroll up. Jay-Z is a 5%er and a 33-degree Mason. Look up what 5%er means and the nation of gods. What? You said nation of gods? Let me see. The 5% Nation of Gods and Earths is a movement founded by a nigga named Clarence in 1964. Came from the Nation of Islam. It teaches that only 5% of humanity possesses true knowledge, while everybody else stupid as fuck. The movement emphasizes self-empowerment and community engagement using concepts like supreme math and supreme alphabet. What the fuck is a supreme alphabet? They said the members are often referred to as gods and earths, with the belief that black people are the original people of Earth and are superior to others. The movement has had significant cultural impact, particularly in hip-hop. Oh, really? So... okay. Somebody said Jay-Z not in that. They said Jay-Z used to speak about it back in the day. Did he? They said a lot of rappers are 5%ers. Let's pull this up from 2014 real quick.
Seemed like there was a lot of uproar over Jay-Z wearing a 5% Nation chain. How long have you been a 5%er?
I want to say, around 30 years.
Are you aware that Jay-Z is a 5%er?
No, I'm not.
So you have no idea whether it's just a chain or whether he's actually part of the 5% Nation?
I have no idea. I mean, there's been little hints. You understand what I'm saying? I've heard him for a while now dropping little things in his music, giving slight acknowledgments to the gods, and even to us. Only God can judge me, so I'm gone. Either love me or leave me alone. You know what I mean? Like, and especially on the last album, on that Holy Grail. He got a song called Heaven where he's shouting out the gods, basically. Arm, leg, arm, head. This is God body. But as far as actually coming out and proclaiming that he's God and coming amongst the gods and building with the gods and making knowledge born, making understanding understood, he has not done that. That's something that if he is interested in, obtaining the knowledge of self, or if he has been studying unbeknownst to us, that's something that we'd like to know, because we'd love to welcome him in and make sure that he's learning correctly. But
I'm going to stop it right there. It'll probably still get flagged because it's Vlad's content, but that is very interesting. That's some after show shit. Okay, child. That been took my channel. Now let's get into the beef. What did Jay-Z say about the beef? He said, "I'm going and see." Back up off your phone, cause I don't know if I'm a holler, but I feel my blood pressure rising. So just back up off the phone just in case. No promises. Jay-Z said, "I'm gonna have an answer that you're not gonna like. I don't know if you're gonna like it. That's presumptuous. But there are 4 pillars of hip hop. There's breakdancing, graffiti, DJing, and battling. Breakdance is not at the forefront of rap no more. It's actually an Olympic sport, so that's dead. Graffiti, beautiful in certain places, but it's not a part of hip hop. The DJ was in the forefront. It was Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, Eric B. and Rakim. You don't even know the DJ for half of the artists no more. And the last pillar is battling. We love the excitement and I love the sparring. But in this day and age, there's so much negative stuff that comes with it that you almost wish it didn't happen. Now, people that like Kendrick hate Drake, no matter what he makes. It's like an attack on his character. I don't know if I love that. I don't know if it's helpful to our growth where the fallout lands, especially on social media. I don't think that this whole point is worth going in the trash. But I feel like it's loaded with bullshit. Let me tell you why. Let's not convolute battling. And let's not sit up and have 4 broad topics and say it's dead when there are so many subsets of them. So as we're talking about battling in commercial hip hop, that is different from standing on the street corner battling and rapping or battle rap, period. It is a battle, but they're different things. So, okay, cool. Did he say we're past battling in this quote? Let me go to another quote so we make sure we get everything. Because, child, he said some things. Just to be thorough.
I have to ask you this only as a participant in...
You don't have to give a disclaimer first.
Well, I'm just saying, as
Ooh. What the fuck am I supposed to do with that? Was I supposed to feel like these questions weren't vetted? That this is a free-flowing conversation? Like, you don't have to give me no disclaimer. Go ahead. Okay.
I have to ask you this only as a participant in...
You don't have to give a disclaimer first.
Well, I'm just saying, as someone who was part of probably the genre's biggest rap beef.
Well, until now.
As a spectator, What did you think of the 2024 back and forth between him and Drake?
I'm going to have an answer you're not going to like.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if you're going to like that. That's presumptuous. In this day and age, it's so much negative stuff that comes with it that you almost wish it didn't happen.
Really?
Yeah, because it's almost like it's a final thing. Now, people that like Kendrick hate Drake.
Yeah.
No matter what he makes. No matter what he...
Like I said, the whole point is not worthy of the trash bin. But hold on. Because this wasn't a situation where a nigga said, is that your girl tour or that's your world tour? Whatever Papa said. Child, it wasn't no little slight whoop-de-whoop. Drake's home got shot up. They could have killed my man. They set up and called my man a pedophile. All over every motherfucking well. So as somebody who fuck with Drake the way I do, bitch, y'all need to get that shit together. No, we not going for that. Y'all took it too far. Okay? Y'all took it too far. I don't think that based on how far shit went, that we need to be playing these games like we don't understand the definitive line that was drawn in the sand. This wasn't, and see, that's where we got to go back to, the schematics of everything that they've mapped out. This wasn't an organic beef where people could just rap and it stayed local. It was platformed, it was commercialized, and it went to the masses. And that had a very detrimental impact on hip hop. Y'all don't want to talk about that because y'all don't want to talk about how y'all amplified that shit and encouraged it. So now it's the fans and it's the people that did something with it. You almost wish it didn't happen because people choose a side. No, you're forced to listen to people again. Whereas in the past, bitch, you didn't have to go online and see that they was fucking with Nas and not you. That's why you don't like that shit, because people are more vocal about the fact that I don't fuck with you, and they will pull up a whole bunch of shit and help a rapper add some shit to his rhymes. The problem is, it doesn't just stay on wax no more. A nigga could say something, Pandora's box could get open, and a nigga could lose his motherfucking job. So I'm sure you missed the 90s. I'm sure you do. But child, what? Finish up.
He says, and it goes far too. It's like attack on his character and his thing, and it's like, I don't know if I love that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's helpful to our growth.
So why the fuck did you platform him at the damn Super Bowl? If that type of behavior is something that's detrimental, as a pioneer in hip hop, why didn't you stand up and say something? If you all about progressing every goddamn thing, and if it was detrimental, how was he handpicked for the damn Super Bowl, Sean? Keep talking.
Where the fallout lands, especially on on social media, which takes place every day.
Yeah.
And now you have these pods of cult.
The Stan armies fighting.
Yeah, and it's like, it's too far.
Yeah.
It's like bringing kids in it.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Honey, I promise to anyone listening, I'm really trying. Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Jay-Z rap against Nas and say he nutted in the baby car seat in the back because he was fucking Carmen too? Or am I fucking retarded and I didn't hear that? Didn't Jay-Z? Hallelujah! Now hold up, bitch. Cause see, hold on. You done started a whole bunch of shit that people didn't follow the blueprint of, and now you said that's detrimental to the culture? Nigga, you started this shit. What? You literally just said that y'all rap battle was the biggest before Drake and Kendrick's. You take credit for that. So, once again, help us understand. Now the behavior is too far. Why? Because everybody else bringing kids into it? It's only okay when you do it? When did it stop being okay? Because you rapped about nutting on the baby car seat in the back, correct? And then fast forward, I'm trying to think. It's some other shit that's came out. Pusha T. Didn't Pusha T try to expose my man, Drake? Something about a baby and a daughter and some shit like that? Didn't that just happen? And you was gonna be on the Clips album, right? Okay. Who else? Who the fuck else done talked about a kid? I mean, y'all put it in the goddamn chat. What the fuck is going on? Like what? They said that's not talking about kids. If I say I nutted in the fucking car seat that your baby be in, cause I fuck your bitch, what am I talking about? Ain't that bringing the kids into it? Doesn't that, help to encourage if somebody else want to be quote unquote vicious to say some wild ass shit like that? They say, didn't Kendrick Lamar address Adonis? Had a whole song addressed to his child. Adonis, I'm sorry your daddy this, and I'm sorry your daddy that, and this, that, and the third. But now it goes too far when the people on social media bring up kids. I'm not condoning the behavior of the people online with they fuck shit, but I'm calling out what I feel like is hypocrisy. That only certain people are allowed to bring up certain things in relation to people's kids. Niggas talking about his secret kids over here. Niggas saying all kind of shit. They said, nigga, did you ever address Kanye? Because this is my problem I'm having. Address your peers before you talk to the public. You so motherfucking bad, you a boss. Go talk to them niggas. Don't talk to me. Fuck is you talking about? Hell no. To the no. They said Drake talked about his kids first. That doesn't matter. The point is Jay-Z ain't never stood up for it. And we know that Kendrick said it. And he platformed Kendrick. He didn't fucking talk about shit relative to the kids. So he pussyfooting. Nigga, if you feel like it's a problem and you feel like that derives from your fucking peers that's doing it, then nigga start at the top. We consume the music and we talk about that, correct? Okay then, start at the top.
No, I don't like that. Maybe I've grown in a space that is probably, I sound like the old guy wagging the finger. But I think we can achieve the same thing as far as like sparring with music, with collaborations more so than breaking the whole thing apart.
Yeah.
It could stand it before because there was no social media and there was no thing. And, you had the battle and it was fun and then you moved on.
Right.
Right now, I don't know if it could stand it with the technology that we have.
Because it takes up so much oxygen.
It takes up so much oxygen.
Yeah.
Let me say this. I think he's being very intentional, not speaking to the media's role in all of this. The public is going to discuss what it wants to. But how can you leave out the role that the media has played in all of this and the shaping of conversations on social media? So why won't you speak to that system that's at play? And some might argue it's because you benefit from it and because you've allegedly weaponized it. Don't talk to me about fucking people on Twitter. Are you talking to me about bots, nigga? I don't, that's not real life. I don't give a fuck about that shit. And let's talk about it. Why? Who gives a fuck about what the people said on Twitter? The fuck? I don't give a fuck.
Now it's just like every day they're just trying
they're
to
still talking about it.
It's not just talking about it. Not like, yo, this song I like this.
Yeah.
No, it's like trying to tear down the people's life.
Yeah.
It's like trying to, wreck this guy's marriage or this guy's relationship with his child. And it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's worth it at this point.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know.
That's interesting.
Again, I love the idea that we got so much music in such a short period of time.
Great music.
Who the fuck married? What?
Just everything around it was just like, man, it's like taking us a couple steps back.
Yeah.
No, it ain't.
And we just grown so much that I don't know if, I guess I'm gonna say it, I don't know if battling needs to be part of the culture anymore.
Interesting.
Let me tell you about this deja vu I just had. Do you remember when this nigga said that we passed kneeling and Colin Kaepernick ain't never get another job, but Jay-Z got a goddamn job over there? This is past kneeling 2.0. So let me tell you what my theory is. It may be a conspiracy. I don't give a fuck. If you think I'm reaching, suck my dick. Reach down and pull on my dick, bitch. Because I feel what I feel. I don't give a damn. I feel like Drake did not lose. The proof is in the pudding. I feel like the battle did not turn out the way they thought. So let's plant this seed that we don't need this behavior anymore. Because Iceman is coming. And all you niggas gonna get your licks. So if I can convince the public that this not the energy that we own, then maybe they won't be receptive to whatever this nigga come back with. Cause I know he ain't fucking with us. And what else do you know? That after everything y'all did to try to help Kendrick, after all of the success of Kendrick, that ain't none of y'all fucking with Drake, even still. And Mr. I'm Hove, I'm fucking Jay-Z. You have built a lot. And you are a mogul in your own right. And you still not fucking with Aubrey. You may be a good businessman. Even though, baby boy, his portfolio ain't nothing to scoff at. But as it pertains to being a music artist, Drake then ran laps around your ass. Laps. And let me tell you something. They said, don't be delusional. Kendrick won. I'm going to address that in a second. Somebody said, do you remember that the Files said that Jay-Z is the voice for the culture and they use him to influence people? Interesting. Somebody said to me, you said what? Hold on. I told you, give me 1 second. Don't be delusional. Kendrick won. Kendrick had a successful year. And I'm happy for his success in a way. I hate that it was at the expense of Drake. But Kendrick did have a successful year. But did he win? Not in terms of a war. If you have a rap battle and you supposed to end a nigga, ain't the nigga supposed to be ended? Drake's still the number one nigga. What? Correct or incorrect? Okay, so what the fuck did he win, ultimately? Nothing. You just had another successful run, and that was good. Drake still can be fucked with. The fuck are you talking about? That's why he didn't ultimately win. Okay? And I don't know why this shit is playing Ether. That's crazy. They said Nas didn't end Jay-Z. How long it took Jay-Z to recover, though? And we're not talking about Jay-Z. We are talking about Kendrick Lamar and Drake. Drake was supposed to be fucking out of here. How the fuck in the middle of a rap battle is Drake the #1 artist still? How is he still the most streamed? How is he still that nigga if Kendrick won? So Kendrick did have success. He had an amazing run, and that was great for his career. But Drake was so motherfucking big that he's still here, and he will still be here, and put out his album and continue on. And nothing shifted the shit that Drake had already put out. Drake was supposed to be fucking finished commercially. So no, there was not no overall fucking win. They said the same shit with Nicki. They can come at her all they want, and it can look like this and it can look like that. I mean, so Pap, he wrote an Ether record, but I broke a Aretha record. The fuck? Fuck you, bitch. You have your moment. Have a moment. But when it come down to it, but you're not fucking with me. So yeah, you might win a little fight. You might hit me on it. Yeah, okay, I might take a couple of L's. Ain't nobody gonna be just 100%, but you still not fucking with me. Same shit. That's how I see it. They said an Ether became the cultural diss record to sample. So Nas did win. Because Ether is always in the conversation. I will not run it back. Lose. Fuck with your soul like Ether. Somebody said, Cap, you a motherfucking gown, nigga. Shut up.
I hate that I had this point of view. I do, because I know what it sounds like. I know what it feels like.
Ho.
I hate it. It's just how I feel about it.
Well, it even kind of extended to you, right? Because people made it a personal thing that you chose Kendrick for the Super Bowl. It's like, oh man, he's choosing the side and he's putting, and he's not.
Like I don't have, what do I have to do with that? I chose the guy that was having a monster year. I think it was the right choice.
Word.
It wasn't in some sort of alliance to a battle. I don't.
Yeah.
What I care about them two guys battling, like, what's that got to do with me?
Word.
Have at it. Have fun. It's almost like, not just me, by the way. They drag everybody in it. Like, everyone's part of this conspiracy to undermine Drake, I guess. But, like, what the fuck? Like, what? I'm fucking Jay-Z. or due respect to him, I'm fucking Hov.
Did you catch that was thrown at Drake? Not both of them, but Drake. Like Drake said it. No disrespect to him. He didn't say to them. He said no disrespect to him. But it wasn't Drake that pushed him there. I thought it was the internet doing that shit. But now, no disrespect to him, but nigga, I'm Jay-Z, nigga. I'm Hov. Aubrey, you better drag that nigga. And I'm not fucking playing with you. You bet. When I say you, they say he ain't. Don't sleep. Don't sleep. This nigga playing right in your face. That nigga just sat up here and said, nigga, I don't give a fuck about you. Why would I give a fuck? Nigga, do you know who I am? He placed himself above you. You gonna let him do that? Is he better than you, Papa? Is he a better rapper than you? He better than you? You ain't shit? Oh, you don't write no more? You don't rap no more? Don't make me dump your ass.
Dude, respectfully.
Word.
Like, for what? To what end?
Yeah.
It couldn't be that these guys just don't like each other.
Yeah.
And I think they haven't liked each
other. Anyway, we heard that bullshit. I think that this is an orchestrated plot. I think the industry, and I don't give a fuck if you think I'm reaching, I think the industry is afraid of whatever Drake's response may be. Because they tried everything, they pulled out all the stops. They put Kendrick on the biggest stages, and Drake is still fucking here. So now, will we past battling? How the fuck are we past me going to wax to tear your ass up if you got me fucked up? How the fuck we past that? The shit, if we pass throwing slugs, then niggas don't even need to rap no more. Put that shit down. That's how the fuck y'all do. Get your ass up out of here. I don't want to hear that shit. Talking about, I think we passed back. This nigga named 4 pillars of hip hop and said all of them dead. So if you put out an album, it ought to be country music, right? Did you listen to what he said? That nigga listed the 4 pillars of hip hop and told us why every fucking one is dead. The one he gave a little bit of life to, he said, I don't think we need that no more. So what's left? He said graffiti, breakdancing, battling, and DJing were the 4 pillars of hip hop. He discounted the 3, and then lastly said, and I don't even think we need battle rap. So where is hip hop at this point then? And what's left to hold it up? What's the foundation? Somebody said it's almost like he's a capitalist. You're basically calling hip hop dead, but you ain't said it. Okay, I mean you said it, and I have a brain, so I heard you. But for a stupid hoe, you didn't say it. All right, let's go ahead and get into what he said about stands. But I think that we already did get into it, but I'll read it just in case YouTube cuts out him sitting down in the interview saying it. But I already talked about my thoughts, so I won't add to it. Jay-Z said he does not like the direction stand wars are taking right now. He said it's too far. It's bringing people's kids in it. I don't like that. I sound like the old guy wagging his finger, but I think we can achieve the same thing as far as sparring with music, with collaborations more so than breaking the whole thing apart. It could stand it before because there was no social media. You had the battle and it was fun and then you moved on. Right now, I don't know if I could stand it. I don't know if hip-hop, could stand it with the technology that we have. I'm going to keep on reading, but let me pause because that makes me uncomfortable as someone who's not a celebrity and not a rapper. Why do you have such a problem with the talks that people are having on an app you're not even supposed to be on? Are you acknowledging that these discussions affect the artist? Or what is it that you're actually saying? Because in one breath, he not worried about internet physics. He not worried about the noise from social media. But in another breath, he doesn't like the way that it's going and it's breaking everything apart. You know, he said hip hop could stand it before because there was no social media. But what does that really mean? There were no voices. Hip hop could move on because it was controlled by whom? And media was controlled by whom? And everything moved when y'all told it to move. But now that the everyday person can do what they want, now that they have YouTubes, now that they have TikToks and stuff, the conversation goes for as long as they want it to. And they can talk about what they want to. You know, Jay-Z, his company at the very least, is flagging people up until today. I saw somebody get flagged for using a public Jay-Z photograph today. So you have average people going online simply wanting to converse on apps designed for conversing. And people like you don't want to hear it. Like he said, it could stand it before because there was no social media. You had the battle and it was fun and you moved on. But, you know, with the technology we have now, I don't know. With all you niggas having a voice, I don't know. Okay. Child, what? They said the hip-hop Jews are losing power. They're dragging Lior publicly. Vlad is finished. TMZ being discredited. The labels are losing power. They said now battling dead and it's too far. Exactly. Do y'all see what this is shaping up to be? This is crazy. He also said it takes up so much oxygen. It's like trying to tear down people's lives. I don't know if it's worth it at this point. I love the idea that we got so much music in a short period of time. Just everything around it was like, man, this is taking us back a couple of steps. We've just grown so much that I guess, I'm going to say it, I don't know if battling needs to be a part of the culture anymore. We grew from breakdancing. We love graffiti. Before the MC's job was to bring attention to the DJ, I want to hear what the rapper is saying. And then, so let's pause on that really quickly. It's like trying to tear down people's lives. What were y'all trying to do in hip hop when y'all were going back and forth and y'all had diss records? Because niggas' careers got ended. It used to be if your song was better and you ate that nigga up too much, he couldn't even show his fucking face no more. That's not tearing down somebody's life? What about telling people who they can and cannot date? And what about a monopoly on venues? What about all the things that actually do tear people's life down? Not that fucking Twitter shit. What about further platforming someone who was calling someone else a pedophile after their house got shot up? After they're literally shouting from the rooftops that this is fucking affecting me. So, don't play with me. Miss me with this double talking ass bullshit. Because what? What? What about the media? What about that? I've never heard Jay-Z say, don't do that to Nicki Minaj. Use another name. I ain't never heard him say, don't play with Meek like that. Bitch, we ain't never heard you take up for nobody. Okay. What the fuck is going on? All right. He said, now, the last pillar is battling. And these are all the things that come with it. I hate that I have this point of view on it. I do. Because I know what it sounds like. It's just how I feel about it. And there's clearly an agenda to silence voices in our community. A heavy right-wing agenda, Jay said later in a text. And the culture is happily playing along in the name of this insane thirst of sand culture to have something on the other side. We're in a strange time. I'm curious as to how this plays out. Now, this is odd to me, and I have a question. I may never get an answer, but I do have a question. The interview, as we know, was recorded back in January. It's March, and you sent a follow-up text. When did you send that? That's my question. When did you send that? I do honestly feel like this is a jab at Nicki. Somebody might say you always was going to think that, but let me explain. He said right-wing agenda, and then he said stan culture. Who has been in politics with fans backing them, and now we have more political talks and spaces where that's not what was being, conversed about? Who would that be if I asked you that question? I would say Nicki Minaj. That feels targeted towards Republicans and Nicki Minaj. Someone in the audience said, but you used those right-wing people to get your CEO her role. Were they okay then? Somebody shout hallelujah. Okay. The people are asking me to ask you if you and your wife were at a Trump dinner. Is that what y'all wanted me to ask them? They said, didn't Trump pardon Desiree? We touched on that, but let's touch on it again. You know what? This is exactly why Jay-Z don't want y'all ass on the internet. Because he used to be able to put out an interview like this, and then the magazine would hit the stands, and there was no social media, and he didn't have to hear what you thought about it. Okay. Okay, get into it. All right, now hold on, because the man that said he worked at Roc Nation is getting attacked. Let's go check on his ass. I'm going to bookmark this shit too. Raheem Palmer. Do you recognize him from earlier? He said, people get so weird when I talk about Roc Nation on here. The stands come out and people just act downright strange for sharing my experiences. Anyways, I've lived a life and have pursued and achieved nearly all of my dreams. Here are some photos from my DJ days before Roc Nation, before I started betting professionally and got into sports gambling media, working at the Action Network and The Ringer. Number one is DJing Jill Scott's Made in America party. Okay. She look good than a bitch. Look at them titties. Okay. He said, this is DJing with Terrence J from BET at a hosting. This is him interviewing Raekwon at Health Holders, whatever the fuck. This is him making the news DJing. He said, play with your mammy. Okay. And he said, leave me the fuck alone. Babe, I said what I said. What? Let me see what this says. I'm on his page now. Somebody said, when he said he worked at Roc Nation, somebody said the funny thing is that people don't even know your undergraduate degree holds more weight than Roc Nation. Yet I'm seeing people say you clout chasing. Jay deserves proper criticism for being a pawn and doing his best to quell black folks. Ooh, ouch. The quote that they highlighted was from the Los Angeles Times. Jay-Z's statement, "My presence is charity," was a 2013 response to activist Harry Belafonte, who criticized him for lacking social responsibility. Jay-Z explained that his rise from the Marcy Projects to success provides hope and inspiration, asserting that his existence as a successful black icon in itself is a form of charitable impact. This is how arrogant that nigga is. This is the nigga that sits in front of you and says, nigga, I'm Hove. This is why I can't accept that he don't feel like that's what he's doing and that's what he's asserting. Because at your heart, you feel like you are that, like you feel like that. Okay? That your presence is fucking charity. What? Child. Moving on. Let's see what else we can find over here in this little treasure trove. Oh no, I won't be commenting a thing, honey. And so the man, Raheem, he said, my undergrad degree and my current job hold more weight than them. It's incredible. People worship celebrities though. He got some more pictures of doing some work. Ooh, this just got real messy. This person reposted that video of Desiree talking about needing that $40 million from Live Nation, or they was gonna be in trouble. 2 hours ago, somebody said, this is an interesting tweet. It reminds me of that clip of Desiree addressing how Roc Nation nearly went bankrupt during COVID, and they asked Live Nation for $40 million. He said, I believe it. I left a year before that, but I know they fired everybody during COVID and then brought in new people for lower salaries. My homie Dot went in there one day and saw Hove's sister trying to rumble people. It's crazy up there. So when I see people talk about Roc Nation like they're illuminating and have control of the world, I find it hilarious. You saw Jay-Z's sister trying to rumble people? I'm not from New York, but per context clues, that's fighting, correct? Can somebody from New York help me with this ebonics? I mean, like what? We got a question from the audience. So they fired everybody and got a PPP law? Oh my God. I'm seeing the word shell. Shell. Yeah, girl, eat your food. Because this too much. This is way too much. Let me see. Let me see what this is. Is he running it? I remember skipping the Roc Nation brunch to sit home and gamble on basketball and boxing. One of my celebrity worshiping friends was angry at me, but I saw that being around celebrities was corny to me if you had no real business with them. I literally made more money betting the Toronto Raptors to come back from 0-2 to beat the Bucks in 2019 and to win the NBA Finals against the Warriors than my entire yearly salary at Roc Nation. So yeah. He said, I made more money betting the Toronto Raptors would come back from a 0-2 score to beat the Bucks in 2019 to win the NBA Finals against the Warriors. And I made more money off that bet than his entire salary at Roc Nation. That's what he claims. Huh. You know. Chop. It's very interesting. And you want to know something? I think that this is an indication of something that we touched on earlier. Not today, per se. But remember how we said it's only going to take one, and then it's going to be another one, and then another one, and then another one? Okay. I feel like those floodgates have opened where it starts just like that. Real slow, but people feeling, it's the fact that anybody even felt comfortable to say, yeah, I used to work over there. This what they was doing. You literally just sat on this motherfucking internet and said you saw Jay-Z's sister trying to fight people. You called them a ghetto ass company. Oh. Okay. Literally. And then look at Elliot Wilson. Elliot, didn't they just have to revive your stupid ass? And you still not appreciating life? This hateful ass bitch got up here an hour ago and said Onika ain't get half a bar. And here go a Cardi B fan page talking about, Elliot, you ate that. And then he put in all caps, Elliot. You hove? Child, please. Shut your bitch ass up. Shut your bitch ass up. Is Jay-Z gonna address people like Elliot, legacy media, who continue to egg on this bullshit? Ain't that the type of shit you talking about, Jay? Go check that nigga. I want, if that's how Jay-Z feel about what the hell is going on, then I need everybody getting checked at the motherfucking door then. Check that nigga. Check that nigga. And I didn't focus on it too much, but I want to bring it back up to y'all. Michael Eric Dyson had a way different interpretation of Jay-Z's feelings about that rap beef. About Kendrick and Drake. Oh, I don't care. I don't care. Really? Really? Because I just want to go back over what it is that Michael Eric Dyson said, okay? And Jay-Z had done an interview prior to that. And in that interview that was pre-recorded, he said, oh, I don't care about that. I'm Jay-Z. I'm Hove. But see, you texting on that goddamn phone, and Michael Eric Dyson said you were very passionate about how you felt about it. You sitting up here telling us you don't like the way the shit went, but allegedly, according to Michael Eric Dyson, child, you was Team Kendrick, sound like. Let's let him talk.
Some people think, well, it ain't that serious, and that's not what's going on. My job as a scholar is to show you that stuff you didn't think was that serious might be a bit more serious than you think. I could be wrong, to be sure. So I don't say it with the kind of arrogance that some of my interlocutors on the internet have suggested. And let me tell you something. A very dear and good friend of mine disagrees with me bitterly. Well, I won't say bitterly, just aggressively and vigorously. His name is Sean Carter, better known as Jay-Z. Now, I don't usually talk about the conversations that Jay-Z and I have because that's between us. That's why we remain friends, because I ain't out here blabbing about what we talk about. But he hit me up and he vigorously disagreed with my particular position. He said it with dignity. He said it with respect. He articulated his ideal intelligently. I responded to him. We went back and forth for a minute, and I shared with him my essay, the 3,000 some word essay I wrote in the Philadelphia paper, where I break down what's going on between Kendrick and Drake. And he was respectful. What I love about Jay is that he's not arrogant, and he's got more reason to be arrogant than anybody we talking to.
You said he's not arrogant? The man whose presence is charity? The one that will sit across from another man and say, nigga, I'm God. Him? Let me tell you something. I don't think I'm going to ever be able to get over that. I really don't. When I tell you, at the core of my being that bothered me, I'm not lying. I promise you. I promise you. I'm not arrogant. He said he wasn't though, Millie.
To include myself on this darn internet, and yet in social media, and yet he chose to be gracious, vigorous, clear, transparent about his disagreements, but he did not get nasty and vicious with me. So the point is that I'm saying we can disagree with each other and not be nasty. I understand a rap battle is a rap battle, and you trying to exploit your opponent's, if it will, vulnerabilities. But in an age of social media, it hits different when you call somebody a pedophile or when you make arguments about domestic violence. I understand that. It hits different when it resonates in a cultural vacuum or in a cultural arena where the Me Too movement, the progressive ideas of misogyny and sexism and patriarchy have prevailed, where we are far more sensitive and culturally appropriately so, aware of the various forms of hurt and pain that women have to endure, and that gender plays a role that we have historically ignored. All that is true.
But in the interview, Jay-Z is so unaffected. He does not give a fuck. You're literally having personal, private conversations with people. Didn't like the way he relayed that information. Nigga came back and apologized. But you sitting in an interview in January acting like, child, I don't care. I don't give a fuck. Why should I give a fuck? Nigga, okay. Okay. Let's go ahead and round this segment out with some closing words from Jay-Z about what he plans to do moving forward.
Looking back on the last year.
It was hard. Really hard. I was like heartbroken.
Really?
Yeah. I'm glad we got right to that, so we could just get that out the way.
Okay.
Like, I was really heartbroken by, like, everything that occurred.
Mm-hmm.
With all, like, we in a space now where it's just, like, almost like consequence is not thought about enough. So everything is so instant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, like, that whole Busby.
The civil lawsuit that was dropped, dismissed.
That shit took a lot out of me. I was angry. I haven't been that angry in a long time. Uncontrollable anger. Like, you don't put that on someone. Like, that's the thing that you better be super sure. It used to be like that. Like, you have to be super sure before you put those kind of things on a person.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to know what would have made us super sure about you not being Ramir's daddy? A damn DNA test. Do you know that? Did you know that we could have cleared all of that shit up? What you said? I'm sorry.
Especially a person like me. Like, even when we were doing the worst things, we were doing bad, we had those kind of rules. There was a line. No women, no kids.
Then you packed your bag and went on tour with R. Kelly? Stop. I see why you don't like me. Because I know you fucking lying. What? Somebody said fiesta, fiesta, fiesta. Fiesta.
You hear those sayings, but those are things that I took from the street. Morals, integrity,
code.
Those things I took because we lived and died by that. So It's strict for me. Like, it meant a lot to me. I took that really hard. And I knew that we was gonna walk through that.
Mm-hmm.
We was gonna walk through that because first of all, it's not true, and the truth is, at the end of the day, it still reigns supreme.
When you're feeling these feelings, how do you then bounce back and get back to being Jay-Z?
I don't know. This is the first thing I'm doing.
Yeah.
Actually, it was just like, all right, man, we played enough defense. 2026 is all offense.
So, are y'all gonna get the fuck off my back if that's the case? Jesus. Have everybody had enough? Okay. They said, Millie, he done took your line. I feel it. I feel it in the air. Child, they said no. Well, offense, was this a, is this like in football or what? Because he said we played enough defense. So I don't think he or his family or anybody, I don't think they want to appear like they still fighting anything. He want to play cool, calm, and collected. He wants to be in control. He wants to shift this whole conversation and get back to the things that put him on that pedestal. So he's coming up saying, and I'm putting all of this together. He done set up and said we don't really need battling no more. And now he's talking about we on offense. So it's kind of like this white flag and this surrender. Like, I'm coming in this shit clean. I ain't fucking with nobody. So now everything will look like an attack coming in his direction if anyone chooses to take that route. And I'm only talking about, honestly, Nicki and Drake. That if you come up and we are now, he has started a conversation about the fact that we don't need that energy. Right? And then he's sitting here saying we on offense now. They said, no, offense means attack. So what the fuck is defense? What is, they said that's defending into shield. They said the protection is the defense. Guarding. Then I feel like he needs to switch those terms. Because I felt like he had been defending and responding and fighting back all last year. So I thought that he would want to take a step back this year. So they said offense is control. And that means that you are trying to score on defense. And you're trying to prevent them from scoring. But do you think that's coming with a tone of being in attack mode? Or that he just wants to work and let that speak for itself and then like do well? Or what did you take from it then? Somebody said that was a goddamn warning and they'll be doing the fucking attacking. So, what does that look like from Jay-Z in 2026? They saying, no, what he's saying is he gonna be the aggressor now. So does that mean in his music that he comes and he, fights back? I see some people saying lawsuits. Is that what that means to you? They said in the streets, offense means you ain't waiting on somebody to attack you. They said, I guess through the concerts and the festivals. They said more behind the scenes, lawsuits and blogs. They said, I don't know. It sounds like a weak jab to me. Ciao. Well, let's wrap this segment up so that we can then have an after show. So we did 6.5 hours. I don't know how long it's going to take this shit to go to YouTube, but God bless y'all.